Hello, my name is Charles Smith, and if you don't know me, that's fine. Um, just want to give you my thoughts on the state of Congress right now. I suspect that, I always get that backwards. I suspect that COVID has a higher rating than Congress right now. And honestly, that surprises me not in the least. Um, we have uh, a majority rhino party, uh, useless as the screen door on a submarine. And they seem to have completely forgotten what their constitutional duties are. Now, if you look at the way Congress was originally structured, you see that they were actually required to meet a couple times a year. That's because Congress is not supposed to be a full time paid job of pencil pushing desk jockeys with nothing else to do except try and affect your and my lives that they are somehow exempt from the rules of their own things. Now, that's a problem. By anybody that has anything with any sense, uh, we're just talking one active brain cell, not completely smooth brained. You would think that that's a problem. So uh, that needs to change. That needs to go back to the original structure. No, you're not supposed to be there all the time. It's supposed to be a part-time job. You're supposed to meet a couple times a year for about a week. You're not allowed to have 1,500-page uh, bills sitting on your desk presented less than 25 hours from the time that you're supposed to have a vote on them. First of all, very few people can actually read that fast with the comprehension rate that is required for it. And then you'll also have the references that you have to poke out because it'll say reference, court law, case law, things like that. So then you also have to do that. So instead of 1,500 pages, it's probably closer to 20,000 or so. Once you get through all the doing the research and checking out how this refers to this in what context, yada yada yada, ad nauseum. There are currently more laws on the books than can ever be read. That's right, ever. Period. Um, it is literally impossible for any one person to adhere to all the laws that are written. It's pretty much take a breath and you've probably broken a statute of some kind, and that's beyond ridiculous. I'm trying to censor myself a little bit on this because, whatever. But I would say that one of the most important things to do right now is to get new leadership all around in the House. Uh, Jordan is probably decent on judiciary, but uh, I would have rather seen him take Speaker's role. He at least has some spine, whereas uh, you know, Amoeba has more spine than Johnson. Um, that has to change. And if they're not willing to do that, then I would say we need to hold emergency elections across the nation until we get people in place who listen to us, the rightful masters of the House. Um, I can't imagine being more disgusted than I am right now with what I see happening in Congress. And it seems as though we're not represented at all. I can think off the top of my head of maybe 8 members in the House that should retain their seats, and the rest of them need to get the fuck out. And, the original ways of doing things with Congress are were always tricky enough. But now you have lobbyists and foreign interest groups, and I have suggested more than once to my congressman that all foreign money be ruled illegal. I don't give a shit if it's APAC or ADL, which are two of the worst terrorist organizations on the planet. And that's not up for debate. All one has to do is instead of listening to all the praise the JWS, um, actually do some research on their history. They are demonstrably one of the worst races on the planet. the worst for violation of human rights, worst for violation of civil rights. Um, they make the Nazis look good. They really do. And, you know, I'm not Nazi sympathizer by any stretch, but I can see their point. Um, I'm always up for discussion. Leave a comment. I'm going to keep this pretty short and sweet because, attention span stuff. But that's just my thoughts. And, I'm not, the Electoral College is great and all that happy stuff, but, there was talk of releasing the uh, Matt Gaetz investigatory papers. And I have my own theories about that. But what I want to do is release everything from every member of Congress that has ever had investigations released. All of it. And that should be common knowledge anyway. Period. The end. Uh, there should be no questions. And technically, you are of the people. So you do have your rights, but you also work for us, and we're the employers. So you don't have cover from us. Now, another thing that I do want to hit on is going to be the Senate voting for majority leader and for other leadership positions, I believe. And that is done in a secret ballot. That's against the Constitution, period. And you answer to us, the masters. You're not allowed to hide who you vote for. And I forget exactly when that changed. But what that does is that takes away from us, the people who vote and put your happy asses in those seats. That takes away a look at your thought processes, and that is not allowed. And that needs to change. And I'm not sure who the Senate majority. I think it's Thune, and I want investigations into Thune ASAP. Let me put it this way: I want investigations into everybody whose financial status has changed, exponentially. Tell me how a broke bartender is worth 29 million in 4 years on a $175,000 a year salary. Make it make sense. Help me out. That does not happen without selling something. And the only thing a member of Congress has to sell is influence, something being written into law. Okay, let me backtrack on that just for a second. Over 99% of laws are invalid. The overriding, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And you may not make any laws, and this is ruled in Marbury versus Madison. Let me bring that up really quickly, and it's just the end summary. But Marbury versus Madison, the the general misconception is that any statute passed by legislators bearing the appearance of law constitutes the law of the land. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any statute, to be valid, must be in agreement. It is impossible for a law which violates the Constitution to be valid. This is succinctly stated as follows: all laws which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. This is Marbury versus Madison, 5 U.S., 2 Cranch, 137, 174, 176, 1803, United States Supreme Court. And that was always the case, but I guess they had to dumb it down for some people. I'm not sure too, but apparently there are some people who struggle with that concept. It's kind of like uh, some judges think that rights are rights, and some judges think that, well, some rights are rights, but some of those are, you know, more like permissions. Nope. It's called the Bill of Rights. Everything covered under that is covered. Thanks. Your opinion doesn't matter. There's literally no interpretation to be done. And what really disappoints me in the way that these idiot, quote unquote, lawmakers do things is they will see if the Constitution falls in line with their proposed statute instead of whether the proposed bill, statute, whatever, falls in line with the Constitution, because that is the correct aspect. That is the correct way to look at it. That's about it. I could go on this forever. I don't want to bore too damn many people to death, but my thoughts, and Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful New Year as well. Uh, Party hard, but party smart too. Okay. Love you.